Away from there now, the European Central Bank held interest rates steady for a second straight meeting, with inflation having cooled and trade tensions with the United States easing. The ECB kept its key deposit rate at 2% as widely expected. ECB also hiked Eurozone's 2025 growth forecast and lowers it for 2026.
The Governing Council today decided to keep the three key ECB interest rates unchanged. Inflation is currently at around our 2% medium-term target, and our assessment of the inflation outlook is broadly unchanged. The new ECB staff projections present a picture of inflation similar to that projected in June. They see headline inflation averaging 2.1% in 25, 1.7% in 26, and 1.9% in 27. For inflation excluding energy and food, they expect an average of 2.4% in 25, 1.9% in 26, and 1.8% in 27. The economy is projected to grow by 1.2% in 25, revised up from the 0.9% expected in June. The growth projection for 26 is now slightly lower at 1%, while the projection for 27 is unchanged at 1.3%. We are determined to ensure that inflation stabilizes at our 2% target in the medium term. We will follow a data-dependent and meeting-by-meeting approach to determining the appropriate monetary policy stance. In particular, our interest rate decisions will be based on our assessment of the inflation outlook and the risks surrounding it, in light of the incoming economic and financial data, as well as the dynamics of underlying inflation and the strength of monetary policy transmission. We are not pre-committing to a particular rate path. The decisions taken today are set out in a press release available on our website. I will now outline in more detail how we see the economy and inflation developing, and will then explain our assessment of financial and monetary conditions. So looking at the economy grew by 0.7% in cumulative terms over the first half of the year, on account of the resilience in domestic demand. The quarterly pattern showed stronger growth in the first quarter and weaker growth in the second quarter, partly reflecting an initial front-loading of international trade ahead of expected tariff increases, and then a reversal of that effect. Survey indicators suggest that both manufacturing and services continue to grow, signaling some positive underlying momentum in the economy. Even if demand for labor is softening, the labor market remains a source of strength, with the unemployment rate at 6.2% in July. Over time, this should boost consumer spending, especially if, as foreseen in the staff projections, people save less of their income. Consumer spending and investment should benefit from our past interest rate cuts feeding through to financing conditions. Investment should also be underpinned by substantial government spending on infrastructure and defense. Higher tariffs, a stronger euro, and increased global competition are expected to hold growth back for the rest of the year. However, the effect of these headwinds on growth should fade next year. While recent trade agreements have reduced uncertainty somewhat, the overall impact of the change in the global policy environment will only become clear over time.